What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another photo analysis. This time I'll be analyzing the covers of Flowers' single Hitomi no Oku no Milky Way, which translates to Milky Way of the back of the pupil, or even better, Milky Way behind the pupil. Let's begin with limited edition version A of the single cover. Alright, if you notice and you look at the clothing that the girls are wearing, you notice that um, it looks like it has like an outer space look to it. Like the design of the clothing or the coloration of the clothing looks like outer space. You know, you see like stars and other astronomical objects. So I'm like, oh, okay. I see that's like their way of incorporating the theme, the Milky Way into the single cover. I'm like, okay, all right, checkpoint for you there, Flower. So I noticed that the girls are kind of giving different looks, but also looks that sort of play into each other, which is good. It seemed like they're all kind of like more or less on the same page here. And the look is sort of like, sort of editorial, moody, brooding, with a little sex appeal thrown in there too. For me personally, I think that the three girls on the bottom half of the photo are, working it better than the three girls on the top half of the photo. Especially the girl to the far left and the girl to the far right. The girl to the far right, she's giving us like, the no neck look, but it's working, and that's a hard look to pull off, but she's working that no neck look here. On the other hand, the girl in the middle on the bottom, she's giving us the no neck look, but it ain't working so much. Not so much, But I give her credit for her body positioning. And really, she kind of lucked out and she was with, paired next to two strong people. So they kind of are covering up for her mistake there. Also, if you notice on, in the far left corner up top, she's kind of like her neck. You can kind of see that she is kind of giving the neck look, or at least giving us some neck, but it's covered up. Because you can kind of tell, even though her neck is being covered up, you can still kind of tell she, like, giving us neck, Because if she wasn't, then, her head would look like it's directly connected to her shoulders, which it is not. So, yeah. For me, I guess my personal favorite, if I had to choose exactly one, then that's a tough choice because I have two who I gravitate toward here. So I'm just gonna keep it at two. So I would choose the girl on the far left on the bottom and the girl on the far right on the bottom as the two best in this particular photo. Let's move on to the next cover. This is regular edition version B, like the cover for regular edition version B. And it's in black and white, which I don't necessarily have an issue with. Sometimes black and white really does look really good and work really well, depending on the theme, And here it looks like they're all trying to give us, editorial feel because it's in black and white, the poses they're doing, the look on their faces, the styling and everything. So it looks like, this really looks like it could be a part of like a magazine spread in like some high-end fashion magazine. You know, and I'll go from left to right. Starting with the girl on the far left, like to me, I like that pose that she's doing. She's working it with that pose. She kind of lost her neck a little bit though, but I do like that pose, and I like what she's wearing. And she's giving us legs, not quite legs for days, but she's giving us a good amount of legs here. Next girl, um, I like the pose, but I think she kind of faded into the background because of the coloration of her clothing. But I do like the pose. It's really dynamic. She's like giving us, places for our eyes to look at. I'm like, okay. All right, next girl. Here, the hand near the chin, I'm not sure what she's going for with that look. Maybe like, she's in thought. I will say she's giving us good neck here and, decent legs. Again, not legs for days, but it's decent. All right, next. Okay, here she kind of looked like she has sort of lost it in the face from what I can see. But then again, the picture is sort of a far shot. But her face doesn't quite register as strongly as some of the other girls in the photo. And also, I can't see her other arm. I guess it's covered up in the garment that's by her arm or something. I think she was trying to give us like broken down doll look, but I don't know. I don't think it worked here. She doesn't look terrible, but for me, her pose and her overall contribution here is more so on the lesser end. All right, next girl. All right, I like that she's on the the prop. She's using the prop pretty well, pretty decent. Could have been a little better, a little more dynamic. I wish she would have maybe done something a little different with her leg placement, but I think she's kind of fading into the darkness a little bit, which she shouldn't be. But from what I can see, it looks okay. It looks all right. All right, the last girl on the far right. Here for me, she's okay. Okay face, okay legs, okay look. It's okay. Yeah. Overall, I do like this single cover, but I think it might be maybe a little too edgy for a single cover. And particularly as it relates to the theme of the single cover, which is Milky Way of the back of the Milky Way behind the eye. But I'm not sure. To me, it might be a little bit too avant-garde. And I hate to say that because I really like to give props to people who do, avant-garde things, who do edgy things, editorial style. And I do think they pulled it off really well here. They're kind of coming off as like, more so rockers here, really. And that's a compliment. But, I like the photo, but I think as a single cover, I think it is a little too avant-garde and a little too edgy, and I don't know. It's a little strange for me here because I like the photo, but I just don't think it would make the best single cover considering everything that goes into a single cover and what a single cover is supposed to be for. But overall, I really like the photo though. Let's move on to the next photo, the next single cover. This single cover is for the irregular edition version C. And I really like the coloration. It's really soft and soothing, and I like the lighting as well. The girls are giving us, for the most part, happy, more so happy faces this time around. Although one girl looks sort of like a deer in headlights and slash confused, a mixture of that. Um, I like the outfits that they're wearing. That one girl on like toward the top right, she looks out of place, with the tie. The girl with the tie, she looks out of place here. If you remove her, everyone seems to be totally in place. Her, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's her outfit didn't go well with the other outfits, or maybe her look, but she's sort of out of place. I can let her slide and pretend like she in place, but if there was an odd one out here, it would be her. And they kind of look like very angelic here. You know, and for me personally, the girl who's serving it the best in this particular photo is the girl on the bottom right hand corner. With the nice smile, like she is serving it in this photo. She might be getting overlooked a little bit because people are going to other places, but really, she the one that killing it in this photo here. The other girls are doing okay. They're doing all right. But she's killing it in this photo, but she's killing it low key. She ain't all up in your face killing it. But overall, eh, great photo, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next single cover. This is the single cover for regular edition version D. And, here the girls look really ethereal here. Like, really heavenly, like from a whole nother world, you know. And I like that they have the fabric, you know, on, covering, like there's fabric on the cover. Not literally, but, they Photoshop some fabric into the photo as well. And I like that look. I think here the lighting is sort of an issue because you can't see the girls' faces as well. Perhaps that was the look they were going for, but I think that, well, to be honest, I don't think these girls are really giving good looks here, and I don't think their faces are anything to run home about. No shade, but then again, it might be because of the lighting, you know. um, hmm. I think that overall, like the girl, if you count starting left, the fourth girl, like her hair is kind of looking weird and unkempt. But I do think she is serving it the best in this photo, though. She's serving it up in this photo with her look and her body positioning. So I think she's kind of like, even though she sort of look a mess, I think she is like the strongest person in this photo right here. The rest of the girls are kind of like, just giving us some sort of look like, okay, I'm here. I look pretty, you know. All right, let's move on to the final photo. This is the single cover for a regular edition version E. And this is pretty much exactly the same single cover as limited edition version A, except for it's in black and white. Thus giving it maybe more so of an editorial feel. I think this does look nice, but I think it's a little lazy because all the other single covers have been so different from each other, having like a totally different look with them. But here, this one is like more or less just recycled. They just turned on the grayscale, and turned down the color. That's about it. Um, but hey, it is giving us, editorial feel here. So I'll give it that. So let me rank these photos. Give you my, how I view these photos. So the best photo, the best single cover in my opinion is regular edition version C. I really like the coloration and the clothing and the atmosphere. I think this is the best and strongest single cover for me personally. I think everything falls into place best here. The second best single cover is the single cover for regular edition version D. I like the ethereal look, even though I don't like the lack of light in their face, but I do like the ethereal look. They look very heavenly here. All right, the third best single cover is limited edition version A. And for me, I think that this single cover, while it lacks activity, it does incorporate the theme of Milky Way the best. The fourth best single cover is regular edition version B. Like I said, I really do like this single cover. Well, I like the photo, but as a single cover, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sold on it as a single cover. Again, I think it might be a little bit too edgy and avant-garde to be a single cover. But since there are so many single covers for this single, I think ultimately it can work, in my opinion. But I really do like this photo, though. Don't get me wrong. And the fifth best single cover is regular edition version E. And for me, this single cover is a little lazy, but I do like how it looks in black and white. And you get to see the girl's clothing a little bit better. But ultimately, I think it's a little lazy, And besides, we already have a black and white photo, a black and white single cover. So it's kind of like we're recycling something even more so because we're doing a black and white theme again. We're doing the same single cover again. So, yeah. So I take issue with that. But what do you guys think? Feel free to let me know. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Into the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.